Okay, we are live, so I'll call the meeting to order and I'll look for a roll call from my clerks, please.
Welcome to the November 24th, 2025 council meeting. We'll begin with roll call of council. Mayor Clark.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Bell.
Present.
Councillor Snutch.
Present.
Councillor Fisher.
Present.
Councillor Tuyu.
Present.
Councillor Goff.
Present.
Councillor Bell.
Present.
Thank you. We have quorum.
Do I have an announcement that's going to go here or no? No.
This meeting is being streamed live on the Township of Ramara YouTube channel. Be advised that by attending a public meeting of the Council of the Township of Ramara, you are consenting to your image, voice, and comments being recorded and will form a part of the public record. The chair, CAO, and/or clerk have the discretion and authority to terminate or interrupt the live streaming in exceptional circumstances where the content of debate is considered inappropriate to be published. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll look for our approval of the agenda motion, please.
That the council agenda dated November 24th, 2025 be adopted as presented.
Moved by Councillor Goff, second by Councillor Tuyu. Questions on the agenda? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. I have two. The in-camera item 10.23 and item 15.1 motion 2, both the same declaration. I have an immediate family member that's employee. Councillor Goff.
I have the same issues.
Same issues. Any other councillors? Councillor Bell.
Thank you. I'll be recusing from 15-1.
Thank you. I'm not seeing any others, so I will go on to announcements. I'll start with General Manager Pai if you want to introduce our newest employee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like you to introduce everybody on council and to the public to our new Manager of Operations, Derek Timms. We're very excited to have him joining our team. He's coming to the township with a 20-year municipal career, generally in the recreational facilities and in the parks and trails area. So he's coming to us with a wealth of knowledge there and truly is a very big team player. And that was part of our decision to have Derek join the team. And we're very excited to have him. Thank you.
No, but I'll keep some good clothing on hand. I'm very excited to be here. Everyone has been extremely welcoming and friendly, and I'm really excited to hit the ground running and address any issues and push a lot of things forward for this great municipality.
Thank you and welcome. So I have some other announcements here. I'll start off Remembrance Day celebration on, of course, the Legion, and I quite a few councillors there. Majority of council was there. A good turnout this year. It's always nice to see when the students from the local schools come out and join in the Remembrance Day celebration. Coming up, we've got our Feeding Families campaign returns. The township, along with the community partners, including the library, the Legion, Ramara Firefighters Association, is launching the 2025 Feeding Families campaign today. The campaign will run until December 15th, 2025. We hope to raise about $10,000 or more in monetary and gift card donations to support local families and children during the holiday season. Residents can make a monetary gift or gift card donations at the Township Administration Building here or at the Ramara Center. New this year, residents can also make donations online. Community members can also support the Mitten Tree by donating new mitts and hats and scarves at both locations. There will be several events taking place in December to also help with the fundraising efforts. And for full details, visit ramara.ca/feeding families. Our economic development strategy. The township is inviting residents and businesses to share their input on the future economic development in Ramara through a survey available until December 12th, 2025. Have your say on business growth, development, tourism, and community needs. Your input will help guide Ramara's new economic development strategy and community improvement plan. And learn more and take the survey at ramara.ca/ECDEV, ECDEV. Winter Recreation Guide. The township's Winter Recreation Guide is now out, and there's lots to do for all ages this season. From indoor programs to outdoor activities, we encourage everyone to take a look and get involved. Registration opens November 26th for township residents. To be sure to check out the guide and sign up early. Visit ramara.ca/recreation for details. And lastly, last week, the township hosted a graduation ceremony for our newest group of volunteer firefighters. This achievement marks an important milestone, not only for the grads, but for Ramara as a whole. On behalf of council, I want to congratulate all the graduates and thank them for their willingness to step forward and protect our residents when needed. And I believe you were there representing me, Deputy Mayor. Go ahead, let me know how it went.
Correct. No, it was a fantastic turnout. I think we had over 80 people there, including graduates and family members that came out to attend. Very well attended. I think we had the chief and the deputy chief there and the CAO Jackson, and some of the council members were there as well. So it was a great night. So we did that. As well as there was something else. Oh, we hosted the open house for the Brecken buildings. We did 2 sessions. So that was great, well attended, and great discussions around the table. So that was first of many of our public consultations regarding the 2 buildings. And then that, I think this past weekend, I took a bunch of kids, 17 kids we took to Sudbury for a wrestling tournament. It was actually the qualifier for Ontario Winter Games, which is held in Orillia this year. Out of those 17, every one of them medaled. We took first place as our team, not the biggest team, but we did take it. 203 points. Second place team was only 97. So we were pretty dominant in this tournament. 7 of those kids were actually Ramara residents, which is great to hear. So that's all.
Awesome. Any other announcements? Councillor Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor. I just, some of the events that we already spoke about, I won't touch on again that I was able to attend. The one thing I do want to say though, Rooted in Ramara just finished off their first of this series of the Slow Cooker Club. They did 3 different classes, 3 different recipes at the Legion. We partnered with the Legion and the library for that. So we're going to be doing our next series starting in January. Registration is required and you can register through the Ramara Public Library. They're managing the registrations.
Good. Thank you. Councillor Tuyu.
Thanks. On November 6th, I visited the Rama Education Fair taking place at the Mask to check out the post-secondary resources available to Indigenous students. It was a very positive and motivational atmosphere with a variety of speakers telling the story of their journey to their careers, all of them emphasizing the importance of education and the desire to learn. Representatives from various post-secondary institutions were set up in booths around the room with so much information and cool swag to catch the students' interest. As always, it was nice to break bread with the community and have the opportunity to pass along the learning to any Indigenous students in Ramara that might need to know about these resources. And speaking of Rama, on November 8th, I was honored to lay the wreath on behalf of Ramara Township in Rama to commemorate Indigenous Remembrance Day. And on November 11th, alongside Barrie Mayor and Innisfil Deputy Mayor, I again had the honor of laying a wreath on behalf of the Township of Ramara at the Barrie Cenotaph. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other announcements? Councillor Bell.
Thank you. Obviously, I too was at Remembrance Day. And then the next thing was these award ceremony, which I don't think anybody's mentioned yet. And so that was an opportunity to honor 2 Spirit of Ramara winners, Anna Lynn Faulkner and Paul Grunston. And it was also an honor for me to have the opportunity to be there while Jane Lee received the her honor to be at the wall here in the township offices. And it was, I think for me, quite emotional. Jane Lee is, her smile will light Ramara for years to come. So that was wonderful. From there, it's just been a whirlwind. I was at both the Updegrove and Brecken Public School markets to say hi to the fundraising efforts that are happening there. I was at Leatherdale to stop in and support the Ontario Federation of Snowmobile Clubs as their bid to get Ramara back on the trails. So that was a great afternoon out and some good food at the barbecue. I too was at the open house, the open house related to the buildings, and the takeaway is the residents are looking forward to the answers to all the questions that weren't answered that night. So hopefully that will happen soon. The LCCA I've been to once, the second time I missed out. So I'm just giving a shout out to the LCCA. Anybody can join. And they did have a fabulous chili dinner this weekend that unfortunately I missed. And then finally, exciting announcement from the Ramara Chamber of Commerce. We've moved into the Strawn and Morris building. So we have not left Brecken, and we will be active as we always have been. So we're very excited for that. I believe potentially they're over there today. I'm not sure. So that business, I believe, has been here and operating in Brecken since 1974. So really excited about that. And I think, oh, and there was the Legion Market. And of course, yesterday I was over doing, stopping in on the Smile campaign at Tim Hortons with our Brecken Lions.
Thank you. And thank you for remembering the award ceremony. Yes, that was a big event. Councillor Goff.
Although I attended a lot of the meetings that events that everybody else has said, I'm not going to mention them. One thing I want to mention is that basically had our first Christmas party get together at the Athlete Community Center Board meeting. We had a meeting at first and then a potluck dinner. It was well attended. Deputy Mayor Bell was there, and of course, Councillor Tuyu and myself. But it was nice just to sort of relax and have a potluck dinner. Some great food.
Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, I was double booked on that one. Okay, if there's no other announcements, then a lot goes on in the month of December, and the Santa Claus parades are just going to start rolling out here shortly as well. Present, yes, Council.
Mention.
Yeah, December 15th, I think it is. Yeah, we'll have another meeting before then, but make sure you get out. It's certainly worthwhile being at. It's an evening parade. Presentations, we have none. Public and special meetings of council, we have none. And no deputations, do we? I'm okay. Yes, ma'am. General Manager.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, just to back up to the Washego Parade, it is Saturday, December the 13th at 5 p.m. in Washego, and the township will be submitting a plow truck into the event as a participant and a fire truck as well. So
I think there's some children coming to paint the plow blade up, are they not?
That is correct,
Hopefully you
yes.
won't need it before then so that it's able to stay for the entire parade, not have to clear the street at first.
thank you.
All right, thank you. So deputations, we have none. Open public forum, I don't recall getting any. We have none. So I'll start with our minutes. Rebecca?
That the minutes of the following meetings be adopted, having been printed and distributed. Council meeting minutes dated November 3rd, 2025. Special council meeting regarding 2026 budget review minutes dated November 3rd, 2025.
Any questions arising from the minutes? Not moved by Councillor Snutch, second by Councillor Fisher. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So I'll need a motion to recess into committee of the whole. Oh, sorry, the special council minutes. You did them together? Or no? Yeah, they're together. Yeah, no, they were together. So the motion to recess into committee of the whole.
That council recess and convene as committee of the whole at 9:42 a.m.
Moved by Councillor Goff, second by Councillor Tuyu. All in favor? That is carried. And now we need a motion to go into closed session.
That pursuant to section 239(4) of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001 C25, notice is hereby given that the Committee of the Whole intends to hold a closed session meeting in the Richard P. Bates Boardroom to deal with items 10.2.1 to 10.2.3 as described on the agenda, being matters pursuant to section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, C, disposition of land, and D, labor relations and employee negotiations of the said act.
Okay, moved by Councillor Tuyu, second by the Deputy Mayor. All in favor? That is carried. And of course, when we declare, I will leave for that section. Okay.
Hey, Mayor, we were gonna rise and do the one that you have a conflict with first, and then we'll call you back in, okay? Yeah, well, he's there, he should not have. Okay, Colton, are we ready now? Nope, you give me the green light, then I'll wait for you. Okay, could I ask our clerk to confirm we have quorum?
Yes, I can confirm we have quorum.
Thank you. Okay, motion to rise.
That committee of the whole rise from closed session at 10:12 a.m. and reconvene in open session and report.
Somebody move that for me, please. Counselor Such, second by Counselor Tuyu, all in favor? We're now rising.
Through the chair, we have moved up item 11.1.3, which was 10.2.3 of the closed session reports, as two members had declared a conflict. So while they are out of the room, we'll deal with this one first, and then they can come back in and we can deal with the other two.
Great, thank you very much. Could you put that motion up on the board for us?
We're just getting that up on the screen, and I'll read it once it's up.
Thank you.
That report AD 2625 dated November 17th, 2025 regarding staffing members, development and infrastructure be received, and that Charlotte Bainon be appointed as the Township of Ramara Chief Building Official, and that Megan Hawkins be appointed as the Township of Ramara Deputy Chief Building Official, and that report AD 2625 be referred to the November 24th, 2025 Council agenda for same-day ratification.
Great, thank you very much. Somebody put that on the floor for me, please. Counselor Fisher, seconded by Counselor Tuyu. All in favor?
Recorded vote, please.
Okay, recorded vote has been
Through the
requested by
chair,
Counselor
well, we don't have a recorded vote in committee of the whole. It would be in council.
Okay, so all in favor? All opposed? That is carried. Okay, we'll just pause for a second. We'll bring Counselor Goff and the mayor back in. I'll hand the chair over. Your Worship, I'll hand the reins back to you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and I'll just wake up my computer and then. Okay, so I guess now we're looking for motion 10.2. Oh, hang on, I'm right on the wrong page. 10.21, is it not? Yes.
Yes, to the chair. Yes, this is item 10.2.1. That report CD 2425 dated November 24th, 2025 regarding the proposed stop-up closure and sale of a portion of the unopened road allowance adjacent to 8168 Laidlaw Avenue be received, and that council declare the portion of the unopened road allowance identified as Part 1 on Reference Plan 51R17755 adjacent to 8168 Laidlaw Avenue to be surplus to the needs of the municipality, and that a public meeting be scheduled for January 12th, 2026 in accordance with the requirements of the Municipal Act 2001, and that report CD 2425 be referred to the November 24th, 2025 council agenda for same-day ratification.
Okay, moved by Counselor Fisher, second by Counselor Tuyu. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And now 10.22. Yes, 10.22.
So the chair just getting it up on the screen. It's there now, so I'll read it. That report AD 2725 dated November 17th, 2025 regarding staffing matters be received, and that the confidential direction provided to staff be adopted, and that report AD 2725 be referred to the November 24th, 2025 council agenda for same-day ratification.
Okay, moved by Counselor Goff, second by Counselor Snutch. All in favor? Opposed? One. Thank you. So we're in open session. Rise are done. Council reports. I'm not showing any. Board and committee reports. I'm not showing any. Council referral reports. Not showing any. So we have our department reports now. So 11.51. This is the wireless tower. So
Through the chair, the motion before committee of the whole is as follows. That report BP 4525 dated November 14th, 2025 regarding recommendation for letter of concurrence for communication tower Signum Wireless 5 Queen Street be received, and that council authorized the clerk to issue a letter of concurrence to Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada, ISED, in support of the proposed construction of a Signum Wireless Inc. telecommunication tower located at 5 Queen Street in Ramara.
okay, moved by Councillor Snutch, second by Councillor Goff. Questions or comments on we've done these before? Councillor Tuyu.
Thanks. It's my understanding that Rama would have heard about these plans. Do we know how they feel about it being so close to the weirs? I have concerns that it's pretty close to our road allowance that would lead from the Atherley Trailhead west to the area where we always talk about the possibility of connecting over the Narrows. Is there a more specific image available of exactly where the footprint of the tower would be?
I see Jen Stong online. Go ahead, Jen.
Yes, good morning. Rama was circulated directly, and I also spoke with them about the tower during our monthly meetings, and they had provided no concerns for the location. And in terms of where it is going, I believe the site plan was sent out on the CIP, but just give me one moment, I can pull it up.
Can we get Jen turned up a little bit for us old guys? You got something for us?
Yes, I'm just going to pull up the survey. And sorry, Mr. Mayor, did you hear my response?
Yes, we could,
Yeah,
but we
okay.
just need to get you turned up a little bit. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So I'm just going to zoom into it and then I'll throw my screen up. I believe the tower was about 3 meters from,
I need you to face your computer though, Jen.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can hear you.
I believe the tower is about 3 meters from the road allowance, but I'm just going to pull up the, I guess it is considered a road allowance there. Where are we here? Just going to share my screen. Okay, I'm hoping that you're seeing my screen.
Yes, we are.
This will be the access in here, and then the tower will be located. This is the compound where the tower is going to go, so it will be located right here. Which is pretty much there's a gravel area there right now. That's where the tower is going to go.
Okay. Questions, Councillor Tuyu?
No, just thanks for that. It was hard to sort of be able to zoom in and see exactly where that was. And it's almost, when the site plan drawings are almost so detailed, it's hard to see the forest for the trees type situation. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? So all in favor? Opposed of any? So that's carried. Do we want to do that as a same day ratification? Because the other two are same day ratifications today. Did we want to do this one while we're at it? It's not time sensitive, but Gail?
Through you, your worship, staff had indicated when we made some changes to the procedural bylaw that we would recommend same day ratification for matters that may be time sensitive and so on. This particular matter, we didn't recommend, but would be quite happy if council were to proceed to ratify same day. We believe that, all of the work has been done in terms of the consultation and so on. So there would be no harm unless council wants to choose otherwise to have it same day ratification. It just wasn't necessarily time sensitive,
Yeah.
but we could certainly do that today.
because it's the only report we would have been forwarding. So do we need a motion for that for same day? Or we'll just do it later when it comes up?
Through the chair. So when we do get to the moving to council, at that time, we could determine whether there would be any reports being forwarded to the next meeting or if they'll all be considered for same day ratification.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So that one was carried. So now we'll move the award tender for supply delivery mix and stockpile winter sand.
Okay, that report ID 3525 regarding award of tender for supply delivery mix and stockpile of winter sand dated November 24th, 2025 be received. And that, I apologize if I mispronounce this, Duvin Vorden Haulage Limited be awarded the contract for infrastructure tender ID 10-2025 for the supply delivery mix and stockpile of winter sand in the amount of $185,213.38, including non-recoverable HST. And that the mayor and clerk be authorized to enter into the agreement to execute this tender. And that report ID 3525 be referred to the November 24th, 2025 council agenda for same day ratification.
Okay, can I move by Councillor Goff, second by Councillor Tuyu? Questions or comments on the tenders? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. And the funding for haulage of the effluent and wastewater treatment to plant number 202.
Through the chair, we're just getting that motion up on the screen and I'll read it once it's there. The motion before committee of the whole is as follows. That report TR 0825 dated November 14th, 2025 regarding funding for haulage of effluent from wastewater treatment plant number 202 be received. And that the Director of Financial Services / Treasurer be directed to enter into a loan agreement with CIBC to finance the cost of the hauling of effluent from wastewater treatment plant number 202 for the year 2025. And that report TR 0825 be referred to the November 24th, 2025 council agenda for same day ratification.
And I have a mover and a seconder, moved by Councillor Goff, second by the Deputy Mayor. Questions or comments? Councillor Bell.
Thank you. First question I have is, and it was similar to the last, but I didn't want to ask it on both motions. We were to return to our tender opening committee and our public tender opening procedure. And I did not see either of these tender openings on the agenda, or sorry, on the schedule. So I'm not sure when the tender openings occurred, and I'm not sure why we didn't follow the procedure. So my first question is procedurally based.
Well, let's deal with that one first, if I may. We'll do them one at a time.
So the ombudsman I had spoken to, as you all know, and the agreement was that process was going to be followed moving forward, and I don't think that it has been.
Through
CEO
you,
Jackson,
your
go
worship, I can assure you that it has been followed. And this particular matter that you're dealing with right now is a finance issue, not a tender opening. But I will address the previous. It was outlined very clearly in the report that it was followed. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I did not see it. So the way that we did the tender opening, the terminology that it was public tender openings, since I joined council and until we dropped using our own process and procedure, the tendered openings occurred here in council chambers and the committee was here in council chambers, and it was also streamed so that the public could watch the opening. So that didn't happen. And if it did, I was not aware that it was placed on the schedule. So meaning no news or announcement went out to let the public know there was a tender opening. So I don't believe that we followed the procedure.
Well, you're out of order, Councillor. This
anyway.
is a governance matter. If you have a question about how the tenders were being held, send an email to the CEO and get your question answered.
My
Right now,
question's not mine. My
right now
question
we're
is a question
dealing-
of the public.
right now we're dealing on the tender itself. So please stick to the agenda. And the tender is awarding is actually, this one is for the not even awarding the contract, is lining up the financing. So there was no tender on this particular one. We're just lining up the financing. Could you please stick to the agenda? If you have issues on procedures, please send those concerns to CAO. You can copy myself and the CO. And I'll also remind you that I've offered to meet with you after every single council meeting to go over any issues that you might have. That is a standing offer. You have the email. And I will gladly meet with you after every council meeting and clear up any questions you have with regards to procedures and policies. So on this actual motion, do you have a question or comment?
I do. Thank you. I don't need to be chastised, by the way. And
Okay,
if
that's
you'd like
it.
to have a
Councillor,
meeting
you're finished
after,
for
as
now.
long as my
I-
lawyer's
no.
present, we can certainly have a meeting. And yes, I do have a question.
No,
Oh, it's
you're
the gavel
finished.
of oppression.
You're actually finished.
It's the
Councillor.
gavel of oppression.
Councillor Snutch, we'll carry on, please.
Thank you. I've had discussions with our Director of Finance on this. I just have one more question. We do have a lot of funds invested. And I'm just wondering about the timing of this. When do you plan on actually making this application or receiving funds? Because my thinking would be that even though we have, I think, $10 million set aside for the Bayshore project, I don't know why we wouldn't use some of that money instead of borrowing money. We can always borrow this money later.
I'll go through.
I can understand approving it. I just don't know when you want to draw down on that because I don't think we're going to need it for quite some time.
No.
Through you, your mayor. So this was part of the 2026 budget. We were planning on making a loan for the hauling. The reason we do it at the end of this year, let me back up for a second. This loan is to finance the 2025 hauling cost. We did something similar last year, and we got the bylaw a little bit late in. And so early in the year, when we don't have taxation coming in and utility bills coming in, our cash flow is affected. So this year, I'm trying to be proactive and getting the money in a bank account before the end of this year to cover the cost of 2025 hauling. So that's why we have that loan. We do have money invested, the township money invested into different types of investment with Gandhi. However, these would be our reserve being invested. We are already lending money to water and wastewater for them to be able to do their operation and capital projects every year. So therefore, I feel like this should not be part of the township contribution to water and wastewater. It should be treated separately, as it was not part of when we did the budget. This is how council approved it.
Follow up.
Okay, thank you, but I still think we could do some things internally. I won't say anything else, but I don't understand why you would invest money. Let's say $1 million you're going to borrow. That's $50,000 a year. Sort of have it sit in our bank account. I think we should draw down on the other ones and then replenish it when we need the funds. But I won't say anything more. That's up to I just don't understand borrowing and investing at the same time.
I guess we'd have to cash out the investment. So
yeah.
Well, if they're time sensitive, then you give up the interest.
Well, we'd have to do an analysis on that to see which would make more sense. But
financial.
I just don't see borrowing the money to have more money in our bank account as a safety precaution, because we have that 10 million put aside and 10 million will be used for that project, but they don't need the 10 million now, and they probably won't need the 10 million until next fall, depending on how the whole thing develops.
I don't think we have the 10 million put aside, do we? It will have to be financed when the project goes ahead, correct?
So we're talking about two separate things here. So we do have money invested. Township has money invested, not water, not wastewater. So I believe and it's about 10 million that we do have in different type of investment. There was a report submitted to council with more information. I believe it was around May or June. So we do have those investments. The township does have that money invested. However, this is township money, and technically it should be used for township projects such as roads, or if there's an emergency, it could be damage to a bridge. So we would need that money to be able to go ahead and provide those improvements to our own assets. I believe in this discussion, we're also talking about the 10 million that will be needed next year for the construction of the treatment plant 202. So it is two different 10 millions that we're talking about. The reason we're trying to get a loan to finance the hauling is to treat this issue similar to what we did for the 2024 hauling. So we did take a loan for 2024 hauling, and during budget discussion, this was included in the budget as well, that the 2025 hauling would be funded through a loan. If it is council's direction to do it otherwise, being the director of finance, I would advise against this, knowing in the situation we were last year, our cash flow was not in a good situation, and having a loan to finance the hauling would prevent the township to be in similar situation at the beginning of 2026.
Yeah, just in
Something
summary,
mentioned?
I don't have an issue in allocating all the costs and the interest expense and that, but I just don't, the reason you're short cash is because we have $10 million invested. So let's just reduce that to 8, get the money to pay, and we borrow later, but I'm finished. I'm prepared for a vote.
Okay, so Councillor Bell, offering you help is not chastising, and the gavel is not to silence councillors. It's controlled decorum in a meeting when you're off topic. Now, if you have comments on the issue on the table, I will gladly hear them. Go ahead, Councillor.
Thank you. And I would point out that Manoj just again referenced this also pertains to 2026 hauling, which also required a tender. So, and you did chastise me. My question is, what is the administration and the
finished
mayor
on this
doing?
topic.
What is the administration and the mayor doing
You
to
are
mitigate the
finished
cost of
on-
effluent
I am
hauling?
not going to take insults from you, Councillor. That's your
I'm not going
second
to take
warning.
insults
The
from you
next
either. I've
time
had
I will
quite enough
ask
of
you-
it.
Okay, Councillor, I'm excusing you from the meeting again. Thank you. Please yield to the chair when the chair is speaking. We will take a break until the councillor can. Okay, on the borrowing, we will try and finish this motion if we can, rather unfortunate, but we will try and continue on topic. Any other questions with regard to the borrowing? I hear what you're saying, Dave. You'd rather see us cash out some of our holdings, but then we would still charge interest to the sewer and water users, maybe at a lesser rate. It would be the interest rate that we would lose out on as opposed to the borrowing rate. That might be where the discussion in the new year on how we finance projects and whether that's something that we look into. But as far as the motion on the floor here, any other questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed of any? That is carried. Next, I've got motion to rise from committee of the whole.
So through the chair, while we get the screen up, I have prepared a motion that includes all of the reports from committee of the whole. If committee would like to include the letter of concurrence for the communication tower as well. If you would not like to include that, we could do it separately, but I can read this one first. And if there is support, then we could carry on from there if that is okay.
Well, does anybody have concerns with doing the tower? Ratifying the tower today, or would you rather defer it until the next meeting? Okay. Yes.
Sorry, I'm just not understanding your reason for opposing. I don't know if I'm entitled to it, but I'm just curious.
Well, on the floor, maybe, you know what, why don't we'll do the tower next meeting. We'll just leave it off. We'll just do the ones that are here, and then we can have a discussion on that when it comes back at council for ratification in 2 weeks. It's just a vote when it comes back, yeah. Yeah. Well, then that'll also allow the councillor to have the separate vote on it as well. So we'll bring it, it's not time sensitive. We'll bring it at the next meeting. Sorry, Rebecca. Because now we want to pull it for a second vote anyways.
Okay, thank you for your patience. I'm just going to move this out. Sorry, just one moment. Okay, the motion before committee of the whole is as follows. That the recommendations of committee of the whole be referred to the next regular meeting of council to be held on December 8th, 2025, with the exception of the following items, which shall be referred to the consent agenda later today. 11.1.1 proposed stop up closure and sale of part of Laidlaw Avenue road allowance adjacent to 8168 Laidlaw Avenue. 11.1.2 staffing matters. 11.1.3 Staffing Matters, Development and Infrastructure. 11.5.2 Award of Tender for Supply, Delivery, Mix, and Stockpile of Winter Sand. 11.5.3 Funding for Haulage of Effluent from Wastewater Treatment Plant number 202. And that committee of the whole rise and council be reconvened at 10:36 a.m.
Okay, so the motion to rise, moved by Councillor Goff, second by Councillor Fisher. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So now we'll ratify it. We're now back in council. So now we will do the consent from the committee of the whole previously, which is the tree planting report from the last committee of the whole. So we're now on 12.11, but we're actually voting on 12.2, which is the vote on 12.11 from our last committee of the whole, the tree planting. Go ahead, Rebecca.
That the recommendation as set out on consent agenda A, reports from the November 3rd, 2025 committee of the whole meeting be adopted as presented, including the following item. 12.1.1 update Township of Ramara tree planting in conjunction with the Lake Simcoe Region Conservation Authority.
Okay, so that's all we had carried over from the last meeting, moved by Councillor Goff, second by the Deputy Mayor. Questions or comment? Can't imagine any. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So consent B from our current meeting. So that's the two we're bringing forward, which are the tender and the borrowing are the two that we'll be voting on consent agenda B, correct?
Through the chair, we do have the 6 items that are being recommended, or the 5 items that are being recommended for same day ratification. One of those items does have the declaration of conflict, so I have separated that one out. If there are any others that the council would like to separate out, please let me know and we can do that now.
Yeah, we'll separate the one that Councillor Goff and I have a conflict, so we'll do the other ones first. I forgot about the in-camera. And then so there'll be the 2 in-camera items and the 2 public items. Does anybody want a separate vote on any of those? Not seeing any, so. You want a separate vote on it? Yes.
Through the chair, the motion before council is as follows. That recommendations as set out on consent agenda B, reports from the current meeting for the regular meeting with council held on November 24th, 2025 be adopted as presented, including the following items. 13.1.1 motions rising from closed session. Item 11.1.1 proposed stop up closure and sale of part of Laidlaw Avenue road allowance adjacent to 8168 Laidlaw Avenue. 13.1.2 motions rising from closed session. Item 11.1.2 staffing matters. 13.1.5 departmental report. 11.5.2 award of tender for supply, delivery, mix, and stockpile winter sand. 13.1.6 departmental report. 11.5.3 funding for haulage of effluent from wastewater treatment plant number 202. And that with the exception of the following items, which shall be discussed and voted upon separately. 13.1.3 motions arising from closed session. Item 11.1.3 staffing matters, development and infrastructure.
Go ahead, Rebecca.
Through the chair, if you'll just give us one moment, we're just getting the motion ready to display on the screen. Thank you for your patience. So the motion is as follows. That report AD 2725 dated November 17th, 2025 regarding staffing members, development and infrastructure be received, and that Charlotte Bainum be appointed as the Township of Ramara Chief Building Official, And that Megan Hawkins be appointed as the Township of Ramara Deputy Chief Building Official. And that report AD 2725 be referred to the November 24th, 2025 council agenda for same-day ratification.
Thank you very much. So I put that on the floor for me. Counselor Snutch, second by Counselor Fisher. All right, all in favor? Oh, sorry, this is 13 point, it was 1, 2, and 3, is that correct? Or is it
To
13?
the chair, yes, it was item 10.2.3 under the closed session reports,
Okay.
which became item 11.1.3 under the open.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Counselor Snutch, you had a question or comment? Oh, it's carried. Thank you.
Okay. Consent agenda C, which is the council information package we are up to now, and I have 2 items on the council information package. Do you want to do them separately? The recommendations are here. I believe you have a different recommendation for the one, Dave.
14.11, yes.
Yes, so can we do them as separate motions then, Rebecca? All right, so 14.11.
Go ahead.
I'm just waiting for it.
That the Ministry of Natural Resources correspondence dated October 30th, 2025 regarding letter of approval for an Aggregate Resources Act site plan amendment for license 603504 be received as information.
Counselor Snutch.
Thank you.
I think the council wants to defer. Correct?
Does it have to go on the floor first then?
Do I have to
for
put it
deferral?
on the floor to defer it? Okay, moved by Counselor Goff, second by the deputy mayor.
Thank you. I'd like to respond, but I would like to defer this to the next meeting. We will all be receiving more information from the MNR very shortly, and I'd like that information to be used in a response. So I'd like to put on the floor that we defer it.
So can I do that as an amendment? Would it be the defer until
Through
after
the
our
chair,
training?
it's just a verbal motion to postpone, so we'll need a mover and a seconder for that.
Move to postpone, Counselor Snutch, second by Counselor Goff. All in favor of the postponement? That is carried. Thank you. So we'll deal with that one after our training session. So the next I have the OPP Detachment Board.
That the memo from the Coaching OPP Detachment Board dated November 20th, 2025 regarding requests for 60-day extension of administrative support services be received as information.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Counselor Tuyu. Questions or comments on receiving? We've kind of made it very clear that we don't have the staff to help them with the clerking. Counselor Snutch.
So this is just for 60 days. So that's been ruled out.
Yeah, we just don't have it.
Okay.
All in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried as well. I guess vote on consent to C. Council correspondence for drought. We are C is done. Pardon me? Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back with the next item. So what do we say? 10 minutes? Fine. 15? What are you looking for? 15 minutes. We'll be back at 11
Through the
o'clock.
chair, I'll just need a mover and a seconder, please.
I will get a mover, Counselor Goff, second Counselor Fisher. We will break till 11 o'clock. Thank you. All right, we're back live. So then I don't think I need a motion. We're just on to 15.1 on the agenda now. So I will get the motion read and then we'll deal with it.
As through the chair, while we're getting this up on the screen, for this motion, there is a declaration declared on the second part of it.
Yes.
Within the report, there are two recommendations. We've divided the motion to deal with the two recommendations separately so that those who have declared on the second part may leave the room during that vote. So this first motion that I'll read right now is to deal with the recommendation that is referenced regarding section 5.1 and 5.13 of the Code of Conduct.
Okay, we split it in half because Councillor Goff and I have a conflict on the second part of this motion. So the deputy mayor will chair that portion. And any comments? I will leave the room for that one.
So through the chair, this is the first half of the motion. Motion 1, that the Integrity Commissioner's final report dated November 18th, 2025 regarding Code of Conduct complaint final report, Councillor Sherry Bell, be received, and that council adopt and enact the recommendation contained in the report to suspend Councillor Sherry Bell's remuneration for a period of 40 days for the breach of sections 5.1 and 5.13 of the Code of Conduct.
Yeah, the first part of this motion is referring to the ice storm when the councillor said there was no contact made with her when well, everybody's read the report. There clearly was. So what she's been found guilty of in this particular case is incorrect information that she's put out to the public. And I believe here at this council meeting, Deputy Mayor,
Yeah,
comments?
I don't think it's a secret. I think I had to provide my phone logs and I think it's very open and public that this report was made by myself and I'll take ownership of that. This is the avenue as a council member we have to defend ourselves and our name. That's what I've done here is I had to. In the beginning during the ice storm, I let that go. I thought this was just heated. Everybody was going through an emotional time. I thought it was best to just let this go because as we were going through this, the community had to heal. As it was brought back up again in August, I felt like this was going to be carried on and it was misleading the public into believing that we weren't as council members doing our job and representing them or passing on this information. We were doing our jobs. We were doing what we're supposed to do and getting the power back on and working with staff, working with our emergency team. I was brought in on April 3rd. I've provided my logs. I would have stepped down from this if she would have made a public apology, knowing that she misdirected and gave false information to the public. I believe that public members felt that we didn't do our jobs and we were just here to collect the paycheck. And that isn't what we're here as a team and we worked through this stuff together and we were doing that. I believe that Councillor Goff made the initial call on this first or second. I made several phone calls. Her apology did start out saying that she's sorry, but you know she got a second message from me, but it was mumbled. I think if it's an important thing like an ice storm, if I got a message and couldn't understand it, I would make the attempt to call back. And so my point is that as a team, we have to work together. We can't say that I'm doing something better or more than somebody else. We're here as a body. We're a council body. Everything that comes out of here, every decision, everything we do is a team effort. It's not one person individually. That's my only comment.
Any other comments from councils? I am recommending that we do follow the recommendation because in the meeting today, she made two false statements that we did not follow the ombudsman's direction, and we absolutely did. Joe, you were at that tender opening, so we did follow the proper committee today, and so the habit's not changing, unfortunately, but maybe at some point or another, the council will start to take heed and start following both our procedure bylaw and our code of conduct. So is there any other comments on the motion? Please don't anybody send another integrity motion in. These are getting expensive. I removed the councillor as opposed to having to send another integrity commissioner report in. These are getting quite costly. On the motion, do I have a mover and a seconder?
No, we'll need a mover and a second.
Councillor Goff, second by Councillor Tuohy. All in favor? That is carried. All opposed, if any. I didn't see you in favor or opposed, Dave. All right, thank you. That is carried. And then I will excuse myself for the second half of.
For appearance, I'd rather have it so that we. Thank you very much, Colton. So this is recommendation of motion 2, which refers to the second portion of the IC report. I'll let Rebecca put, oh, it is up there.
Through the chair, yes, we do have it on the screen and I'll read this now. As you know, this is pertaining to the section of the report that dealt with 19.6 of the Code of Conduct.
Thank you very much.
That
Okay.
council adopt and enact the recommendation contained in the Integrity Commissioner's final report dated November 18th, 2025 regarding Code of Conduct complaint final report, Councillor Sherry Bell to suspend Councillor Sherry Bell's remuneration for a period of 20 days for the breach of section 19.6 of the Code of Conduct.
Okay, thank you very much. Somebody put this on the floor for me, please. Councillor Such, second by Councillor To. Okay, so I'll just do a brief summary. This again was on the same report, but in the same meeting, the individual made a comment that our acting chief building official was not a subject matter expert on building code. This was just attacking her character and the professionalism. That's something that we can't do as a council. We can challenge them, we can challenge each other, but we never ever take into this room those kind of attacks where we demean or put them down. This is our subject matter expert. As we've seen today, she has actually been appointed as a CBO officially. So that is the reason we need to protect our staff. There's a way to challenge them without being disrespectful, and that's important for us to keep that code of conduct in this room. And that's all I have to say. Any other comments or questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? That is carried. Your worship, you're getting your steps today. I'll let you have the chair back. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I think we are done that item, correct? So now we're on to such a light agenda today. Postpones motion, I have none. Planning motions, I have none. Deputation motions, none. Notice of motions, I have none today, but I do have council motions previous for notice has been previously given. So Rebecca, are you going to do the honors?
Moved by Jennifer Fisher, seconded by Joe Goff, that council support the introduction of a community recognition initiative titled the Giraffe Awards under the Economic Development Committee, and that the Giraffe Awards be designed to celebrate residents, youth, organizations, and businesses who stick their necks out for others through kindness, leadership, and contributions to the well-being of the Ramara community.
Thank you. It's your motion, Councillor Fisher. Go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, I'm going to ask Colton to put up a slideshow. This is the same presentation that I gave to the Economic Development Committee. And the resolution that came from that was to bring it to council for their support so it can go back to the committee so that we can implement this program now that we're working on our ECDEV strategy again. I have notes so I stay on topic, just so you know, so I don't go off in the weeds. And if you have any questions throughout, I can answer them or I can take them at the end is fine. So the Giraffe Awards would celebrate the everyday heroes in our community, the people and the businesses who would stick their necks out to spread kindness, build connection. Is my mic on? Oh, it is. Okay. And strengthen Ramara's local economy. This initiative recognizes those who go above and beyond to make our township a more vibrant, compassionate, and resilient place to live. Over the next few slides, I'll demonstrate how this project will contribute to the happiness and growth of Ramara. Giraffe Awards is a dedicated project based in Ramara with the mission to recognize and honor simple acts of kindness within the community by spotlighting local heroes and fostering a culture of compassion. The Giraffe Awards aims to inspire others to contribute to a more caring society. So up there, I put down a mission statement and a vision statement of kind of what I would like things to go through. So the reason why I chose a giraffe is because it symbolizes exactly what this initiative is about: courage, perspective, and heart. Giraffes quite literally stick their necks out as well as go head and shoulders above. And that's what kindness often requires: stepping forward, taking a risk, and choosing compassion, even when it's not the easy path. Their height also represents vision, the ability to see beyond ourselves and recognize the bigger picture in our community. The giraffe reminds us that small acts done with a big heart can lift an entire community up. So the token and award slide, these are kinds of things that we can do to help honor and recognize our businesses and citizens in Ramara that have been recognized by their neighbors, friends, family. By posting on social media, it allows us to share stories of kindness widely, amplifying the positive impact far beyond the moment it happens. By highlighting local role models, we inspire others, build community pride, and create a steady stream of uplifting content that showcases Ramara's best qualities. It also helps local businesses, volunteers, and organizations feel seen and validated, contributing to a stronger community engagement. The certificates that I'm talking about up there as well would be something that we could email or have printed that they could be picked up. But the certificates and formal recognition give nominees and recipients something tangible to honor their contributions. These keepsakes validates their effort, reinforce the value of kindness, and create meaningful moments of appreciation. Whether displayed at home, in a business, or at a community event, certificates act as ongoing reminders that kindness matters and is worth celebrating. Together, social media visibility and formal recognition help the Giraffe Awards grow, strengthen community spirit, and inspire more people to stick their necks out for one another. So over the next few slides, I'll touch on each of these topics in a little bit more depth. So attracting and retaining talent. The communities that prioritize well-being and social cohesion are magnets for skilled professionals, entrepreneurs, and young families. A positive environment enhances Ramara's appeal, reducing talent migration to urban centers. The quality of life is increasingly a deciding factor for where people choose to live and work. So then under boosting, boosting productivity, happiness significantly impacts productivity. Employees who feel valued and supported are more engaged, creative, and resilient. Local businesses in happier communities benefit from higher employee retention, reduced absenteeism, and enhanced performance, directly contributing to economic growth. And then supporting local businesses. A happy, connected community fosters loyalty towards local businesses. Residents are more likely to shop locally, dine at community establishments, and support local service providers. This keeps money circulating within the local economy, stimulating business expansion and job creation. Driving tourism and investment. Vibrant, joyful communities attract tourists and investors. Events celebrating community spirit, such as the Giraffe Awards, showcase Ramara as a dynamic, inclusive destination. Positive word of mouth and social media buzz from such events can boost tourism and draw external investments. Next slide. Reducing public costs. Happier communities often experience lower crime rates, better health outcomes, and reduced demand for social services. This alleviates pressures on public resources, allowing for strategic reinvestment into economic development projects, public amenities, and infrastructure. Encouraging innovation and entrepreneurship. A supportive, positive environment nurtures creativity and risk-taking. Entrepreneurs are more likely to start and sustain businesses in communities where they feel connected and supported. Innovation thrives in places where diverse ideas are welcomed and collaboration is encouraged. Strong social networks are foundational to economic resilience. In happy communities, trust and cooperation leads to collaborative projects, volunteerism, and shared economic ventures. This social capital strengthens Ramara's ability to adapt to economic changes and seize new opportunities. And then under enhancing property values, communities with high happiness levels often enjoy increased property values. Attractive neighborhoods with vibrant public spaces, low crime rates, and strong community engagement are desirable, boosting the local real estate market and expanding the municipal tax base. So some of the key ways that community development drives economic growth. So community development empowers individuals and communities to take charge of their futures. Through initiatives like the Giraffe Awards, people are inspired to lead with kindness, contribute meaningfully, and foster positive change. This recognition builds confidence, motivates civic participation, and cultivates local leaders who drive both social progress and economic innovation. Empowered individuals are more likely to start businesses and support local enterprises and create job opportunities, fueling economic development. Strong, connected communities are the backbone of resilient communities, and the Giraffe Awards promote social cohesion by highlighting stories of collaboration, generosity, and community spirit. When people feel connected and valued, they are more likely to support local businesses, participate in volunteer activities, and invest in their neighborhoods. This trust and solidarity create a stable environment where businesses thrive, property values increase, and local economies flourish. Sustainable development is about meeting present needs without compromising the future. Community-driven initiatives like the Giraffe Awards reinforce sustainability by encouraging practices rooted in kindness, cooperation, and shared responsibility. By involving community members and recognizing and addressing local challenges, these initiatives ensure that economic growth is inclusive, environmentally responsible, and socially equitable. This kind of sustainable growth attracts investors, encourages tourism, and strengthens the local economy over time. A high quality of life is both a goal and a driver of economic development. The Giraffe Awards shine a light on individuals and projects that improve access to education, healthcare, and social support. Communities that prioritize well-being see higher productivity, better health outcomes, and greater civic engagement. These factors contribute to a vibrant workforce, attract new residents and businesses, and create an environment where people want to live, work, and invest. So Ramara's commitment to fostering kindness through initiatives like the Giraffe Awards is more than a social good. It's an economic strategy. By creating a culture of recognition, community pride, and positive engagement, Ramara can stimulate economic growth, attract new residents and businesses, and build a resilient, prosperous future. So some of the marketing plan that I have up here, I was talking about earlier about the certificates and what the hope would be. There would be residents nominating for this recognition their neighbors. If they see Johnny bringing the garbage can in for Mrs. Smith because she just had a hip replacement, or perhaps the grocery store has decided to donate some turkeys for a family in need. Anything that we have our Spirit of Ramara Awards, we have our Wall of Fame Awards, and those are for exceptional contributions in our community. But even small things have such an impact on individuals, and I think we need to do a little bit of a better job at recognizing and highlighting those. So what's kind of happened already is I've been working on this now for over a year, trying to get all the answers, questions answered in the slideshow, in the portfolio that I have that I brought over to ECDev, as well as be able to talk about it well. So that's already been happening right now. So now we're kind of at the month one because the project's now here, bringing it back to ECDev and getting it ready to launch. Month two would be when we do our launch, when we would encourage our residents to put names forward. I do have a few ambassadors in the community who have been taking note of kindness in their community so that they can kind of start and get the excitement going. My hope is that when the form is created for our residents to fill out for things that they are doing, that we would be able to push this up onto social media so that their certificate, as well as the nominee's story as to why they were recognized, they would also have be proud and shown across social media that we have a community full of giraffes. Is kind of what I'm hoping, and would encourage more of the same. Month three, continuing on with the nominations, and hopefully it takes off. Month 3 to 12, we continued the awards, and then come back to reevaluate what went well, what do we need to work on, is there a better way to streamline? In my mind, I'm not a tech mind. In my mind, I'm like, okay, so if we have a form, maybe it can auto-populate the certificate, and then with the email provided, it can get sent out and really take away a lot of the pressures from staff. I don't know how to do that through tech, but maybe there is a way that could happen. So that would be the kind of thing that probably we'd be looking at the end of the first year of this program going. As far as cost, it would be negligible and it would fall under the Economic Development Committee's budget. Depending on how deep you want to go into, it would be staff time to post it on social media, and emailing the certificate to the recipients, or printing the piece of paper for the residents to come in and pick up. So it would be very negligible. So I did want to take a hot minute. So even though I've been working on this for quite a while, Jane St. Marie, who's the chair of our library board, and David Heron, who's actually my brother and a business owner in the area, they really helped me with this project, trying to get it off the ground and to learn how to talk about it and have it make sense. Because having a giraffe in a community like Ramara, when we're nowhere near where giraffes are, is a little bit silly. And that's actually kind of why I want the giraffe, is because it is a little bit silly. And I think we as council, staff members, and even residents, it forces us to talk about Ramara in a positive way. I mean, I don't think a lot of us have a hard time doing that, but if we're out in the public and like, aren't you that community that has a giraffe as a mascot? Like, why is that? But when we talk about, like this kindness campaign, it just kind of forces the dialogue to shift to a more positive and a inclusive one. So that's actually kind of why, as well as the whole stick your necks out thing. There are opportunities for some community partners through different levels of government, through different community organizations like Lions Legion, as well as the residents, other business owners, and perhaps the schools and schools councils.
Okay, thanks, Jen. Now, Jen did tell me she had a presentation because normally I notice
Yeah.
most you have 5 minutes and I did allow
I
her
gave you more.
to put it on. So I did have previous notice. I guess my only concern, I don't think you can have an automatic award. I mean, somebody's going to have to go over the entries. And I don't know if that would be the Economic Development Committee. Like, if you say you got 30 come in 1 month, somebody needs to go over it prior to it being posted on the website, because there are folks out there that would put something that is not fit. And it's unfortunate, but I could see that happening. So
Yeah.
what's your suggestion? Would it come back to the ECDev committee to look at?
Well, although I'm calling it yes, I think it should, but even though I'm calling it the Giraffe Awards, it's more of a recognition program. So it's not a contest on who's the kindest in the community. And like I said, the easy answer would be just have the form and auto populate everything. But like you said, there's a lot of room for concern. So whether that comes back to the committee or whether that goes to our staff support person in the committee, would be something that we can either discuss here at council or bring it back to the ECDev committee to further decide. Sometimes the smallest things have the biggest impact. And that's really what I'm trying to showcase here. I can give you an example during the beginning parts of this. So this is kind of somebody that I was keeping in my mind that would be deserving of something like this. I was driving down to the city.
Don't use names.
I won't. I was driving down to the city once, and my vehicle started rumbling and my tires there was something wrong with my car. So I pulled into, and there are a few here, I pulled into one of the shops in Brecken, who's not a shop that I normally go to, my mechanics in Aurelia. And they came out, took the time, came out and took the pressure washer to my tires, made sure that it was safe to go and that I wasn't in danger of driving. It was just going to be an uncomfortable. And they spent a good 45 minutes pressure washing out the gunk and mud because it was springtime, so it was full of it, and ice that had built up that caused the shake in my car. They wouldn't accept any money. They didn't know I was a member of council at the time until after it was done. And they just did it because they saw somebody who needed help. I, of course, left them and paid them. But things like that, I'm not a regular patron of theirs, and they still took the time to make sure that somebody that was driving through our community felt safe getting to their next destination. And that to me is huge. And probably I could imagine for people that do this day in and day out, they're like, it was a pressure washer on a tire, it was no big deal. Well, to me, it was a big deal because I knew I was going to get to my destination safely. So things like that, like these are the things that I want to highlight that often go unnoticed. And people often do things not because they're seeking the recognition, but I mean, we see my kids as Qantas Kids Superstar bumper stickers all the time. And people like getting recognition, and I think it's something that we can do, and I think it's something that we should do.
Council, questions, comments? Councillor Goff.
This is just a comment. When Councillor Fisher first discussed this with me about over a year ago, it was like, well, you know what? That's kind of strange, but the more and more it evolved, I really like the fact that this is something very simple that we can get involved and maybe make somebody's day, like sticking your neck out to help somebody. People aren't looking for a pat on the back, right? It's just something that it's important to residents to do. And we've always said that our community is so volunteer organized, and if anybody's in need, our community steps up. So it's just well, I bought one, and that was supporting I was at the Legion auction sale, their fundraising, seen it, and I went, you know what, I have to buy it. And after this, it's going to Councillor Fisher.
Oh, I was going to say you did an act of kindness, Joe?
Well,
Thank you. Any other comments? I got no, obviously no objections. I think it's a good idea. I'm a little concerned somebody and whether council can even designate a member of council to save staff time. I don't know. That's something we'd have to iron out on because unfortunately we will have to go over all the ones that can. Councillor to you, then the deputy mayor.
I just wanted to echo the sentiments. I think it's a nice idea. Not only to recognize the people who are going out of their way to do something nice, especially in our community full of single moms and seniors, from my experience anyway. And I think it's also a nice way for people to be able to say thank you, especially to those who don't necessarily want to be paid or any kind of recognition. It's a nice way to be able to recognize the effort.
Deputy Mayor.
Great. No, I think it's a great idea as well. I really want to recognize some of the young kids. I know we have some that are on my wrestling team that actually volunteer at the library through the summer programs. And I don't think we recognize them enough. I think we do that more to get them more engaged because it's really important. I think that we have a grants or an awards committee already. So wait for staff to recommend how they see it. But once we set up as the economic development, what the application should look like and who should, maybe that's something we would pass on so that that's already set up and organized.
That would be this is going back to the ACTEV community, the ACTEV committee, and then you guys can figure out how you're going to review these. Councillor Fisher.
Yeah, when this first came up and I was speaking with staff and the mayor actually even back then about where this should fall under, be it to the awards committee or be it to ACTEV, because of the impact that it could have on ACTEV is why we chose to bring it to ACTEV, because there's not, in my opinion, the way I've written it doesn't mean that might not change when it gets to the committee and is adopted, because then it's no longer my giraffe awards anymore. But at the time it was more because it's the recognition. So it's not choosing if 30 come in, good. I hope we have 30 come in. I hope every single person in Ramara and every single business in Ramara ends up with a giraffe award that they can display proudly, right? Like that is kind of the hope. It's more of the recognition. And so the awards committee right now, at least, their terms of reference is to make a selection of nominations for the awards. Whereas this will be if somebody, even if we see that we might feel it might be an insignificant impact, obviously the person that took the time to put the nomination in for this recognition is a giant one. You know, we have Deputy Mayor and I have the opportunity, because we do sit on the ACTEV committee together, as well as we have different partners that come to the table. And I get to sit next to the ACTEV officer at the county. And she had mentioned that she was a little bit of jealousy that she didn't think of this first. So I kind of proposed the idea that once we get this going, there's opportunity for a Simcoe County safari with all the different animals, with all the municipalities in Ramara, and you can create it that way. And I mean, to be quite honest with you, I do see this as being something that could stimulate economic development. And if it doesn't, I'll be saddened about it. But you know what? If we can impact one person and make them feel seen and heard, if that's all that comes out of this is one person's happiness, then I still think it's worth doing.
Thank you. So I've got a mover and a seconder. Sounds like good support. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That is carried. So it's going back to the Economic Development Committee, correct? Just wanted to, yes, I'm getting the nod from staff. So inquiring motions, I do not have any. So we're on to bylaws.
Through the chair, we have put this into a single motion to adopt all bylaws at once. If there are any that council would like to deal with separately, please let me know. We can certainly pull those out. The motion that is dealing with all of them at once is as follows. That bills 2025.44, 2025.45, and 2025.46 be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed as bylaws.
Moved by Councillor Goff, second by Deputy Mayor. All in favor? That is carried. Prior to adjourn, I just want to clarify again, it was said twice in this meeting that the procedure bylaw was not followed, or the procurement bylaw tender was not followed. It was. I just want that for the record, that we did follow our tender report. So now I will look for the, yes.
Mr. Mayor, if you wanted confirmation, certainly Ms. Pye was part of the process. So if you needed to have her elaborate.
I feel I have to address it because it was said twice in this chamber that the procedure was not followed, and I believe it was.
Through you, your worship, yes, we did have a tender opening committee for the tender that was awarded in this meeting for the winter sand. Councillor Goff was our council representative. We also had clerks, finance, myself, and the staff member who was available or was managing the contract all participate. It was held in this chamber, and we did have members of the public in the session when we conducted that meeting.
Thank you for that clarification. I just wanted to make sure it was cleared up. Okay, so now I will look for the adjournment.
Through the chair, just before we get to adjournment, we have the confirmation
Oh, the
bylaw.
confirmation bylaw. I guess better do that or the meeting's not official, isn't it?
Yes. That bylaw 2025.68 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the council meeting held on the 24th day of November 2025 be considered read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Moved by Councillor Fisher, second by Councillor Tuyu. All in favor? That is carried. And now the adjournment. Thank you.
That the council meeting of the Township of Ramara held on November 24th, 2025 be adjourned at 11:30 a.m.
Moved by Councillor Goff, second by Councillor Fisher. All in favor? That is carried.